All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the David S. Hagan Stadium here in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, for tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football. And tonight, it's South Coast Conference action as the 1-4 Somerset Berkley Raiders take on the 0-4 Old Rochester Bulldogs. Tonight's game is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering a full range of financial services with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea, Mass. The Somerset Federal Credit Union is focused on you. Thank you for joining Keegan Hamblett alongside Carter Silvia on commentary, with Brian Moniz running the camera for our Berkley Community Access TV Channel 9, Somerset Access TV Channel 98, our Blue Raider Studios YouTube channel, and live on My Broadcasting YouTube channel. Carter, let's start out with the Somerset Berkley side. They earned their first win of the season last week in their first SEC game against Greater New Bedford, winning 32-0. Liam Meehan, Gavin Gooch playing the heroes with tremendous performances.
Yeah, Gavin Gooch has definitely stepped up this season. Coming into the season, we didn't really know much about him, really how good of a player he was, but now with 15 tackles on the season, he's quietly one of the best defensive players on this football team.
Let's check out Old Rochester. They're still searching for their first win of 2025. 3 of their 4 losses this season have been on the road, which were against Plymouth North, Bishop Staying, and Fairhaven. They had their first home contest 2 weeks ago, which was a 33-21 loss to the Dartmouth Indians. Now off of the bye, Carter, they look to have a fresh restart to try to earn some results, and it's their first SEC game tonight. They want to try to get another push to another SEC title.
Yeah, Keegan, I mean, even though they're 0-4, that doesn't justify how good this Old Rochester Bulldogs team, especially number 22, Benjamin Baptiste, he was really good, especially in the return game. Punt return touchdown against Dartmouth, definitely an impressive player to watch.
A little bit of history between the two sides. This is the 9th all-time meeting between the two schools. Somerset Berkley victorious only once. That was back in 2017. So it's been 6 straight Old Rochester victories. The last 4 times that these two teams went at it, it's been decided by 2 possessions or less. So you can expect we're going to have a great battle tonight.
Yeah, it's always fireworks between these two, and tonight, fireworks is probably what we're going to get.
And you remember last year, 49-35 over at Hanson Memorial Stadium. This is the goal every year for Somerset Berkley, the goal to beat Old Rochester. You know, Freitas is dying to get that second win because it's been 8 years now since that last win, as the Raiders are about to take the field in their away white uniforms. Old Rochester tonight is wearing the home reds. This is probably the best chance, Carter, in a long time that Somerset can beat Old Rochester. Do you think tonight can be the night if everything goes right for them?
I mean, for sure, Keegan. They, especially piggybacking off the win against Vogue last week. I mean, they played excellent defense, offense. It was excellent. If they just keep up the way they were playing, they can win this game with ease.
Fantastic SEC showdown coming up momentarily. But first, the singing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic performance of the national anthem by one of Old Rochester's very own students against Somerset Berkley in white, Old Rochester in red. It's a pink out here for the Old Rochester student section. And we kind of mentioned the players to look out for Somerset Berkley, Liam Meehan and Gavin Gooch. You got a lot of star talent on this Old Rochester side. I got to think Tucker Roy, Cameron Pepin, and Spencer Troy, the players to look out for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely players to watch for Old Rochester. And tonight, Keegan, I mean, this is the game we've been waiting for all season. No matter the teams are 1-4, 0-4, or they're winning every game, it doesn't matter. No matter what the records are for these two teams, it's always going to be a great matchup.
So Somerset Berkley is going to receive the ball first, and they'll be going right to left on your screen. Old Rochester will be going left to right. And you might notice we're in front of the press box. We're not in the new Howard Stillman Bates Memorial press box, still under construction. But this is a new perspective for us, Carter. Get to call the game into the stands, get a little bit more of an intensity, and you get to feel the energy tonight.
For sure, Keegan. Definitely should be a different atmosphere for us down here. We get to hear the fans. We get to hear the players on the sideline. So it definitely should be an interesting one today.
Old Rochester lines up. It's going to be James Duvall, the sophomore, to kick it away. This game's underway. Let's have some fun tonight. The kickoff is going to bounce and be handled at the 15-yard line. This is Finn Crook running it back, and he'll get about 10 yards on the return to the 25-yard line. That'll bring out the Somerset Berkley Raider offense, which is led by junior quarterback Mason Benjamin. Mason Benjamin has done a pretty good job leading the offense this year. A couple turnovers in the mix, but he's doing very well in terms of the handoffs and orchestrating it down the field.
Yeah, he's definitely easing himself well into this season, and as the games progress, he's only going to get better. So this is probably his biggest test yet against an SEC opponent. That's always a tough challenge.
Ball marked at the 25-yard line, a 1st and 10 for the Raiders, and their usual, looks like a stack formation. This time we usually see a wing T. It's going to be a pitch back to start out, and a good run for Liam Meehan past the 35 and dragging his way down to the 41. A fantastic 16-yard play to start for Liam Meehan.
Wow, Liam Meehan trucking over 2 players on that one possession. That's a great way to start for the Raiders, and that's good for a Raiders first down.
Liam Meehan again having a tremendous year. Came in 93 carries for 573 yards. That's the most of anybody by far. 7 touchdowns to go for him too. Ball marked at the 41, a 1st and 10 for Somerset Berkley. Meehan again on that left side. He'll be the motion man, and he'll receive it from Benjamin. Liam Meehan pushing up the middle past the 50-yard line. He's got another first down past the Bulldog 45. This is starting out very similar to what we saw last year. You remember Somerset Berkley scored in the opening minutes in last year's matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders always start off hard, but as the game progresses, if they take a lead, can they keep it and keep going in the second half? Because this Old Rochester team always loves to come back.
And guess what? That's another 16-yard play there for Liam Meehan, already up to 32 yards. Ball marked at the Bulldog 43-yard line, another 1st and 10. It's Cabral and Meehan on the stack. It goes to Meehan a 3rd time. Liam Meehan will get past the 40, breaking tackles, and it looks like Benjamin Baptiste, the sophomore, will bring him down towards the 36-yard line. And Coach Freitas, we always know he's going to go to the run. Very run-heavy offense, but it's just the consistency this year that we're seeing from the running backs out there.
Yeah, Liam Meehan's definitely been one to watch this season. Whether it's catching the snap or just getting a toss, it seems like he'll get 10 yards in every play. And as this game progresses, let's see what else he can do, because this is a fire start for him.
From the 37.
It'll be a 2nd down and 3 for Somerset Berkley. Let's meet our head coaches real quick. Nick Freitas for Somerset Berkley in his 17th season at the helm, the all-time wins leader. Bryce Gilbo in his 7th season with Old Rochester, 38-23 career record. Got to talk to him before the game. He said his main keys were protecting the ball, winning the battles up front, and no bad flags. The play here goes to Sam Mello, and he pushes ahead for another gain. Looks like Chase DeMello, another sophomore, on the tackle, but not before another Raiders first down.
Yeah, great little concept there. Not always needed to use Liam Meehan in every single play, so just using the speed of Sam Mello to pick up an easy first down. That's what the Raiders need to do. They have a lot of great backs, so just keep using them.
Okay, number 8, Sam Mello.
It's a 5-yard gain on the play. Out to the Bulldog 31-yard line, 2.5 minutes in from Mattapoisett. Drew Dion gonna do a shift. Going out to the side, one-on-one. The captain, Cameron Pepin, will defend him. Meehan on the motion, he'll receive it again. Liam Meehan up the middle past the 30 and getting brought down by Chase DeMello yet again after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. Chase DeMello, another sophomore, and the sophomores have been big so far in the early going for Old Rochester, and we could probably expect that the rest of the way, him and Benjamin Baptiste getting a couple early tackles.
Yeah, I was watching film on Old Rochester this weekend, and Baptiste was definitely something to watch, whether it's in the return game or just taking the ball himself. The immense speed that this youngster has is definitely impressive to watch, and we should see a lot of him tonight.
Got to give a shout out to our PA guy on the left side of us, Coach Carvalho, the head coach of the men's basketball team here at Old Rochester, and made the state championship the last 2 seasons. 2nd and 6, Liam Meehan finding some space on that right side, makes the cutback and gets out to about the 21-yard line. That's enough for another Raiders first down, a gain of 6 or 7 yards on the play.
Liam Meehan just finding the easy hole, cutting back to the middle and going to the outside, and that's an easy Raiders first down.
Somerset Berkley looking good, moving down the field early on in this one. Already down 54 yards on their trip. Now 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 21-yard line. It's me, and we got a flag out, though. We had movement up front. Let's see who they got, and it's going to be a false start against Somerset Berkley. And I'll back the ball up 5 yards, and we'll make it a first down and 15. Yeah, I thought Somerset Berkley did a good job against Greater New Bedford, limiting their flags. We saw some towards the end of that second quarter, but all in all, that was great improvement to see last week down in New Bedford.
Yeah, a big 32-0 win. That's always what you want, especially in SEC play, and hopefully they carry on that momentum in here tonight because they're going to need it.
A couple of the other SEC teams in action tonight. If we get some score updates later on, we'll make sure to pass that along to anybody watching at home. First down and 15 for Somerset Berkley. Cabral and Meehan again on the stack. Looks like Finn Crook on that right side. It goes to Liam Meehan on a handoff this time, and Old Rochester reading it well. Still a gain of about 2 yards on the play, though. And one of those SEC games, although it was in a different part of the division of the SEC last night, Bourne versus Case came down right to the end. You probably saw that on my Instagram story. Game-winning touchdown, extra point with 14 seconds to go, but that just shows how intense these SEC games can be.
Sure, Keegan, if I'm not mistaken, that brings Bourne to 5-0, if I'm not mistaken, and that's definitely impressive for them as their football team's not always been the best, so definitely an impressive start for Bourne as it kind of feels good for Somerset, for Case to lose as the Somerset lost the Cabral Cup 4-1.
Yeah, we got to bring that up. I was like, okay, we root for Bourne, but we never root against Case, except if it's hockey season. Gain of 2 on that last play, 2nd down and 13. This is Liam Meehan again, trying to spin his way, getting met in the middle, and a hostess of Bulldogs in on that tackle. And it looks like at the bottom of that pile was Dylan Andrews. And Brody Hiles in there as well for the Bulldogs. It'll be a 3rd down and about 10 coming up. When you get these 3rd and long situations, Coach Freitas always seems to drop something different. Do you give it to the hot hand and Liam Meehan again, or do you try switching it up a little bit?
Yeah, Keegan, you may have to go to a pass here, 3rd and long, inside opponent territory. Definitely time to take a shot and see what your offense can do, as they may not be expecting a pass.
3rd down and 10 back at the 21-yard line. It's Benjamin, a handoff, and getting met quickly by the captain, Brendan Spinard. It was Finn Crook on the run, a gain of 1 on the play. And now it's 4th down and 9. Spinard gets the big round of applause. One of the fan favorites here in Mattapoisett. This Raiders offensive unit has not attempted a field goal yet this year. Still a little bit of distance it would be for Gavin Camara. So they will keep the offense out there on a 4th down and 9. Center tonight, David Tavares. Benjamin lines up directly under him. Benjamin will look to pass. Benjamin going short. The pass will be complete to Brody Cabral, but he's going to be tackled short of the line to gain. That results in a turnover on downs. Looks like it might have been a gain of 3 yards on the play, but the Bulldogs get that stop in the red zone, and they'll take over.
Yeah, it's a good stand by the Bulldogs. They really need that the Raiders were marching down the field with Liam Meehan and Sam Mello, and great defensive stop there. Now their offense gets a chance to show what they can do.
A very solid Old Rochester offense this year. 30 people watching at home on the live stream. Thank you to everybody tuning in tonight. Ball looks like it's marked at about the 18-yard line. And it's a handoff on the right side and a good run stepping up by Tucker Roy. Tucker Roy, very familiar name for you hockey people out there, the goaltender for the Old Rochester Fairhaven Co-op.
Yeah, that was a great tackle there by Finn Crook. I mean, if he doesn't get that tackle there, Tucker Roy can go for a lot more yards than that, so definitely a great tackle there.
Tucker Roy, one of many captains on this Old Rochester side. It's him, Cameron Pepin, Brody Hiles, and Brendan Spinard. Second down and a long 4 from about the 24-yard line. Two running backs on the right side. It looked like it was going to be a pitch, but we got a flag. It's going to be a false start against Old Rochester. It'll back the ball up another 5 yards, and we'll make it about a second down and 10. Quarterback out there for Old Rochester tonight is the sophomore Connor Nelson, replacing last year's QB Gavin Martin, a star multi-sport athlete. And it's similar to Mason Benjamin this year, Carter, when you have your set guys early on, and I know Mason Benjamin's a junior, but still, when they're not a senior, you have the set guys. That's good to have for a few years moving forward.
Yeah, especially Keegan. Old Rochester's got a lot of young guys in this team, so for the future, they're definitely going to be a great team to watch.
That's another handoff up ahead to about the 23-yard line. We'll set up a third down in about 5 or 6.
Kevin 22, Benji Baptiste.
I say a great stadium here, although we're not allowed in the press box, but definitely a top-tier SEC stadium here in Mattapoisett. And not far of a walk, too, from the parking lot. You got 2 going out on that left side. You're going to have Tucker Roy and Spencer Troy going out on the left side. One-on-one matchups. And it looked like a handoff up the middle, going to be close to the marker. And it's enough for an Old Rochester first down. They're making the signal. It'll be a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on that play. Right about at that line again, it goes to the 28-yard line. That's good early on for the Bulldogs offense to move the sticks.
Yeah, especially after the false start that eliminated the yardage they got in first down. It was about 5 yards, so definitely a great way to get a first down there for the Old Rochester Bulldogs.
.310 to go, opening quarter, still scoreless from Mattapoisett. Nelson again lines up under center. It's a pitch back out on the right side, past the 30, and a stiff arm against Aiden Lambert will go out. Benjamin Baptiste on the carry to the 39-yard line, an 11-yard gain on the play. It's another Bulldog first down. A nice strong run there by Baptiste.
Yeah, I can't let Baptiste go to the outside. As he showed there, his speed is really impressive, and Aiden Lambert, great job there to catch up to him, push him, force him out of bounds.
Baptiste for 12 and a Bulldog first down. Football start at the OR 40-yard line.
I'll bump it up a yard to the Bulldog 40, first and 10 once again for OR. Yeah, one-on-one matchups either side. Sam Mello will defend on the far side against Henry Berry. Baptiste will get the motion. And it was nearly picked, but Baptiste on the catch and run. And we'll get wrapped up just past the 45-yard line. Just a nice simple design play. You get the motion going over from right to left and just a short, kind of like a screen pass almost to the left side.
Jet screen pass, definitely great play. And what I've noticed by the Raiders early, their tackling has been really impressive. Not letting the Bulldogs get outside in space, breaking tackles. Definitely great tackle there by Sam Mello.
This time in I formation. It's another handoff, and the whole Raider defensive line will collapse after a 1-yard gain. It's going to bring up a third down and 4 just behind the midfield line. And I gotta like what I'm seeing from the Old Rochester offense, because you've got 2 receivers that are going out almost in a stack formation, whether it's on the far side or the near side.
Yeah, it looks like what they try to do is they really try to bounce that ball to the outside when it's handed off, because they have receivers way wide, almost to the sideline. So it's definitely an interesting formation, but it seems to be working for them.
3rd down and 4 coming up. A lot of Raider Nation on the far side bleachers starting to rise to their feet. Looked like some early movement up front. No flag. A good stiff arm and a good run here for the Bulldogs, getting to the outside. Sam Mello and Christian Hicks will make the tackle, but not before a first down by Tucker Roy to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, great play there by Tucker Roy, trucking over defenders, and he might not have the speed of Benjamin Baptiste, but he definitely has the strength as he rumbled down into Raiders territory. That's a great Old Rochester first down.
Roy for 22 big yards. Bulldogs on the move at the Raiders.
Tucker Roy for Old Rochester. Again, not the tallest guy out there. 5'9" he stands. And we got a flag out, some movement. It's going to be an offside, I think, and it will be against Somerset Berkley. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll make it a first down and 5 at the 30. So we hit about a minute to go.
Part of the 30 stays first down. First and 5.
Shout out to the people commenting, Eric Redmond, Amanda Doherty, and Justin Silvia, all showing support to the Somerset Berkley Raiders at home. First down and 5 from the Raider 30. First Nelson. We'll wait to make sure everybody's all set. Troy and Hiles will get some motions off to the left. Henry Berry's one-on-one on the right side. It's a pitch to the side. It's Baptiste running ahead. Baptiste taken down by Hamblett, Dion, and Crook all in there. Looks like Dion and Hamblett the leaders.
I just want to know, the quarterback made a pre-snap audible before that play. Definitely something you don't see in high school football. It's definitely impressive to see that. As a sophomore, you can make audibles pre-snap.
I was just about to mention that, a sophomore doing some calls, as we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Nick Freitas and the Somerset Berkley Raiders with 27 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Again, thank you for joining us on any of our feeds. Keegan Hamblett with Carter Silvia on commentary and Brian Moniz running the camera. And before this football game, as Coach Cavallo just mentioned, the boys soccer teams took place, Old Rochester and Somerset Berkley. The Bulldogs did come victorious in that one, though, 1-0. But Matty Ice and I did catch the end of that game, about the last 15 or 20 minutes. It looked like it was a very good battle down the stretch. And you got to love that, seeing all of the athletic programs do good stuff for your school.
Yeah, it's always great to see the matchups and the rivalries between every single sport, especially when you see multi-sport athletes play in multiple seasons. You see them on the football field, or maybe, and then in the winter you see them on the hockey rink or the basketball court. It's definitely impressive to see that it carries over each season.
So the ball's going to be marked at the Raider 21-yard line. Out of the timeout, maybe 1 or 2 more plays for Old Rochester before the end of the quarter.
Scrimmage, the Raider 21, 1st and 10.
Again, it's a stack with Roy and Baptiste. It goes to Tucker Roy, and Roy taken down quickly down low. Looks like Aiden Lambert was in there on the tackle, 3 or 4 yard gain. Should bring us to the end of the first quarter. But instead, Old Rochester's going to go hurry up and try to get one more play off with 10 seconds to go. 2nd down and about 7, and Nelson might just try to do a quick draw and maybe jump offside. 1 second, and they're not going to get the snap away. So we're through 12 minutes, still scoreless between Somerset Berkley and Old Rochester. Carter, what have you liked so far from both teams in the early going?
I mean, both teams' running games has been really impressive, and it seems that they're not going to stop, as both teams are heavy running teams. So it's definitely been a smash mouth football game, as we like to say in the business.
You got to love those kind of games. Definitely not the sequence that we saw last year with that shootout 49-35 battle. We'll get through a couple of ad reads real quick. Make sure to subscribe to Blue Raider Studios on YouTube for video coverage of athletic and other school events. Also follow along on the Blue Raider Studios and SB_Athletics X pages. Also, fans, there are only 3 weeks left in the fall sports regular season. To access all sports schedules, head on over to arbiterlive.com, enter in your school in the search bar, and access all team matchups, times, and locations. Also on Arbiter Live, we got to give a shout out to your golf team taking place in the SEC tournament yesterday over at the Allendale Country Club. How did that work out for you guys yesterday?
It was not the outing we wanted. Definitely, we wanted to finish better. Just not our best day as a team, but now we got state sectionals on Tuesday at LeBaron Country Club, so definitely should be a great one to be a part of.
That's a good country club over there, right in the Lakeville area. So to start the second quarter, both teams swap sides. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 from the 18-yard line. Again, Barry and Troy on that left side. Nobody's out on the right. It's a handoff, and a touchdown will be scored by Old Rochester. 18-yard touchdown by Tucker Roy, and the Bulldogs will strike first at home.
Tucker Roy walking into the end zone pretty much untouched. Slight touch by Christian Hicks at the end of it, but just a wide open hole for Tucker Roy and an easy touchdown for the Bulldogs as they're looking to make it go 7-0.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for the extra point attempt. Brody Hiles will be out there for the kick. 6 foot tall, plays as a tight end and a linebacker as well. And actually, that's Nolan Vieira out there for the extra point. The ball is down, the kick is up. Look at that kick, way up in the air. Over the netting as well, so that runs the score to 7-0 in favor of the Bulldogs with 11:55 to go in the second quarter. Well, Carter, 2 good-looking drives by both sides, but it is Old Rochester scoring first at home, and really that shouldn't come as a surprise.
No, at home, Old Rochester's always a tough team to beat, and it looks like they're starting great early with a great opening drive for them as they score a touchdown early in the second quarter.
Get through some more comments at home. Marcos Anello, shout out to Morgan. Morgan is running our camera right in front. The de facto huddle cam for Somerset Berkley. And Mrs. Troutman, big shout out to Mrs. Troutman. Thank you so much for broadcasting. And make sure to check out Mrs. Troutman and her son Calder Troutman at CGT Shots, I believe, on Instagram for some fantastic photography work. Calder's in the building tonight, right along the Raider sideline. Always good to see him here taking pictures for our Raider athletic teams. Bulldogs getting set to kick. James Duvall out there for the kickoff. A line drive one. Takes a couple of bounces. It's handled at the 20-yard line. A fake trying to pitch it back. Still avoiding tackles. Here comes the run at the 25. And being brought down at the 30-yard line is Sam Mello. So the Raiders will take over after about an 11-yard return. But good stuff there by the transfer in Sam Mello.
Yeah, Sam Mello almost reversed in the field. Looked like he was about to go to the left side, then cuts back to the right. Good little game there, as Sam Mello is always a problem against other teams when returning the ball on special teams.
And in the the Greater New Bedford game last week, he actually made the handoff, or someone made the handoff, and that's what it looked like he was going to do at first. But either way, officially marked as a 12-yard return to the 32. 1st and 10 for Somerset Berkley. A pitch back. Another de facto run and a good strong run out to the 39-yard line. Looks like Liam Meehan again on the carry. Liam Meehan doing good stuff this year once again for Somerset Berkley. They're going to miss him after he graduates. Senior night coming up next week at home against Dighton Rehoboth. And we got a lot of seniors that we're going to honor. I believe 18 or 19 football seniors. A 2nd down and 3 now from the 39-yard line. It goes to Finn Crook, trying to find space up the middle, and Finn Crook gets wrapped up at about the 41-yard line. We'll bring up a 3rd down and short. And you got an injured Bulldog coming on over to the sideline as Spinard will sub in for him. And now Finn Crook is down for Somerset Berkley as athletic trainer Susan Medeiros runs onto the field. And let's pan the camera away from that, Brian. We don't like showing the injuries out there. Carter, this is a Somerset Berkley side that has just been riddled with injuries this year, and you got another player down in Finn Crook who's been taking a beating this year as well.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. And the injury bug has kind of gone on throughout all Somerset Berkley sports. I mean, one of the key captains for the soccer team, and Nathan Chapman, went down in the Cabral Cup with a season-ending ACL tear injury, so definitely not great to see as Finn Crook's down on the field.
Coach Nick Freitas coming out as well. Braden Nadeau for Old Rochester was actually shaken up on the play as well, and he was grabbing his arm coming on over to the sideline. That's what I thought the stoppage was for originally. And after we get out of this, it's going to be a 3rd down and 1 with 11:01 to go in the second quarter. Well, let's get through a few more ad reads while we have some time, because we get a whole bunch of them. Just a reminder to Raiders fans, for a full recap on all Somerset Berkley sporting events, make sure to check out and subscribe to the Somerset Sentinel on Facebook for George Austin's articles on all Raiders sports teams. He's in the building tonight. You gotta know George Austin's gonna be here. And also, fans, anybody watching, the power rankings are up on the MIAA's website. To check them out, head on over to MIAA.net, go to Tournament Central, and click on power rankings to see where your team stands today. The Somerset football team is number 28 right now in Division 4. You got to finish top 16 and have to win at least 3 games in order to qualify. So after the injury timeout, it's a 3rd down and 1 from the 41-yard line. As the clock now runs, A.J. Griffin will take the place for Finn Crook on that right side. And it's a toss back and a good dive forward. Looks like another Raiders first down. Liam Meehan on another carry. Gain of 2 or 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, Liam Meehan's kind of had a slow start to this second quarter. It seems like the old Rochester Bulldogs have adjusted to the running of Liam Meehan. They're bottling him up early in front of the line of scrimmage.
Brody Hiles was in there on the tackle after Liam Meehan gained 2 yards on that play. So 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Meehan and A.J. Griffin as the running backs. A.J. Griffin gets the motion, and A.J. Griffin will be on the run with it. The little guy pushing forward to the 49-yard line on a gain of 6. A.J. Griffin has had a good amount of carries this year. I believe the 2nd most for the Raiders offense, averaging just under 3 yards a carry for him, but he's always a nice power runner whenever you need a few yards.
Yeah, he's always that great short yardage runner. I mean, despite the stats, he picks up first downs on command. I mean, it seems like every time he gets the ball in a short yardage situation, it's going to be a Raiders first down.
Now 2nd down and 4 from the Raiders 49. Same formation, Cabral as the fullback, Griffin on another motion, and A.J. Griffin will take it again, past midfield, and pushing the pile for another first down, out to the Bulldog 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6 yards on the play. So, quick 12 yards there for A.J. Griffin. And now we get another player down, and it looks like everybody's getting up, though, so that's good to see, with Spinard and Medeiros who are down in the pile. And Jaden Medeiros has had a couple switches for the Raiders O-line this year, now playing as tackle and a guard. Started out the year as a center for the team.
Yeah, Jaden Medeiros, a very versatile offensive lineman and defensive lineman, as you can really put him anywhere on those spots. Maybe even like what they did with Kyle Hamblett, you can put him at tight end and he'll do a great job there, as he has some great speed for a lineman.
So 1st and 10 once again for Somerset Berkley at the old Rochester 45-yard line with 9 minutes to go in the second. It goes to Meehan, and Meehan spinning ahead. It looked like it was read well originally by Cameron Pepin, who made the initial push on the tackle. It's still a gain of 4 yards on the play, though.
Being the ball carrier down to the 41. Good for
46 viewers at home for what might turn out to be the game of the year in the SEC, and there's always 2 games that seem to decide who wins the SEC. It's between these 2 schools and then when Old Rochester takes on Apponequet on Thanksgiving. So you know the stakes are big. We'll talk about that more in a second, as there's a fumble on the play. Old Rochester believes that they dove on top of it. Still waiting for the official signal at the bottom of the pile. It's going to be Mason Benjamin's 6th fumble of the year, and they've recovered it. Benjamin was in there, down at the bottom, but another turnover for the Raiders offense.
Yeah, that's a turnover you desperately did not need. I mean, that gives Old Rochester huge momentum, and as they get on this drive, if they score a touchdown, that's 14-0, and that's really tough to come back from.
Turnover puts the ball back in the Bulldogs' hands. Line of scrimmage at 42.
So the Old Rochester Bulldogs will take over at their own 42. And keep in mind, too, Old Rochester receives the second half kickoff tonight. 1st and 10. As Christian Hicks will come on over to help Sam Mello in the secondary. It is a handoff to Tucker Roy, and Roy getting forward for a gain of 3 yards. And the ball might have come out again. Let's see what the signal is. Everybody pointing for Somerset Berkley. And the signal right now, the official made the spot that he was down by contact. Let's check it out. And it is Old Rochester ball.
Good for about 3, 2nd and 7 from the 45.
That was almost a game-turning moment just after one turnover. Let's go back to those Game of the Year candidates in the SEC real quick, because you got this game right here and then the Thanksgiving one. And I remember Thanksgiving, it was Apponequet who pulled off the upset on Old Rochester, as there goes Baptiste down the sideline before Christian Hicks takes him down. But there is a flag on the play while we wait for the flag, and it is going against Old Rochester. Back that ball up. We're going to redo 2nd down, but just talk about how big these matchups are for Old Rochester this year.
Yeah, well, Rochester always has big matchups. Somerset Berkley and Apponequet, the two notables that, as you said, Keegan, before, are the two biggest ones of the year on Thanksgiving and tonight. So Old Rochester really just needs to forget about this 0-4 start. They're a great football team for what I've seen, and they've had a tough start to schedule like Somerset Berkley. So if they keep going the way they are and playing like they are in this game, they'll have a great rest of their season.
So it is going to be a spot foul because it was a block in the back. It's going to be marked at the 49-yard line, so it's going to make it a 2nd down and 1 yard to go.
Football marked at the rate of 49. Bulldogs looking at a 2nd and 1.
As Connor Nelson receives the play. And here they go on the lineup. Troy going out one-on-one against Hamza Chaudhry. And you got Barry one-on-one right here against Sam Mello. Another stack on a 2nd and 1. Quick handoff up the middle to Tucker Roy, and he's got enough for another Bulldogs first down. That's a 3-yard gain on the play to move the chains.
Looks like how they use Tucker Roy as in like a fullback type position, kind of like what as they go in the hurry up here, as like what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers used to do with Mike Allstott back in the early 2000s.
Jaden Medeiros in the roster.
That's a pull right there with Mike Allstott. You know your football there, Carter. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. A pitch back this time. It's Benjamin Baptiste who gets taken down by Aiden Lambert after another short gain. Aiden Lambert switching his jersey number today. Usually wears 23, now wearing 22.
Tackle made by Aiden Lambert.
And we get another player down for Somerset Berkley on that far side. That last play went for, looks like, about 2 or 3 yards.
Time out on the field.
Aiden Lambert getting helped up. Carter and I just saw the replay. Looked like he just fell down right after the side, but that's good that he got up on his own power with some assistance. That's good to see.
Yeah, especially wearing an honorary number 22 tonight. Definitely going to need Aiden Lambert down the stretch in this game because he's one of the key players for this Raider squad. And
this is the first time that Coach Freitas and Mrs. Guerin have given out the 22 number. Usually comes out after a Raiders win, honoring the former player Mitch Guerin. Passed away in 2016, Raider football legend. And Melanie still attends all of the games, whether at home or on the road. Does great work with the Raider football program. 2nd down and about 7. We got a flag. It's going to be a delay of game against Old Rochester. I'll make it 2nd down and about 12.
Moves the ball back to the rate of 49.
That's the second flag we've seen on Old Rochester on this drive, but I mean, some say take the intentional delay of game. Some coaches say don't do it. Maybe that's just more time to drop a play. Now it's 2nd and long.
Yeah, Keegan, and this is a polar opposite game from last year. We had a lot of high-scoring game last year against these two squads, and now it's only 7-0 coming to halfway through the 2nd quarter, so definitely interesting as there's a...
It's a passing play, and it is dropped, incomplete. It was going to be a touchdown for Henry Berry, who just beat Sam Mello right down the field, and boy, oh boy, the Raiders caught a break on that one.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. They were not ready for that quick slant pass, and that's something that maybe the Bulldogs should keep in their back pocket for later in the game because they can catch the Raiders off guard again, and I'm sure Berry, once he gets the opportunity again, would not drop that ball.
Let's take a look at the replay on our end. I know our viewers can't see it. Just a quick move to the right. Sam Mello was a little bit too far behind and just saw a jump. So a 3rd down and 12 coming up now for the Bulldogs. As it's going to be another passing play. Nelson gets it away, left side. And a stiff arm. Gooch will make the tackle on Tucker Roy past the 40-yard line. This is going to be short. It's going to be a 4th down and about 1 to go.
Looks like consignment on the head.
So Old Rochester will go hurry up.
4th and 1.
Nelson waiting to discuss. Old Rochester still with all 3 timeouts. And the I formation yet again. You got Troy, nobody's within a few yards of him. Quick handoff up the middle, and that'll be a 1st down, and keeping it is Nelson. Going all the way, knocked down the pylon. He's going to be out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Fooling everybody out. Looked like he was going to do the handoff up the middle. He kept it. Big run of about 38 yards.
Yeah, great read option there by the Old Rochester quarterback, faking out the whole Raiders defense, then bouncing to the outside to use his tackler upfield, and that's just a great heads-up play by the Bulldogs quarterback.
So now a 1st down and goal from about the 2-yard line. A keeper, everybody coming in.
Nelson on the keeper.
He'll be short again by about a half a yard. The Raiders this season have made some strong goal line stands, but this is going to be a tricky one, as it's just inside that 1-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Old Rochester looking to double the lead here in Mattapoisett.
Ball sits at the Raider 1, 2nd and goal.
It's Barry and Pepin lined up behind Nelson. Nelson with the handoff. Cameron Pepin up the middle. He'll be in for an Old Rochester touchdown. 1-yard run by the senior captain, Cameron Pepin.
Cameron Pepin, one of the bigger size skill position players for this Bulldogs team, and he just powered in for that 1-yard touchdown. That puts the Bulldogs up 13-0, looking for the extra point to make it 14.
Back out for the extra point is Vieira. He made his first one, a very high kick.
Vieira in for the point after. Barry on the hold.
Ball's down, kick is up, and it drifted off to the left a little bit, but it went through the uprights, and it's good. That runs the score to 14-0 with 4:27 to go in the 2nd quarter. The Carter, the Raiders have had a couple good drives down the field, but getting stopped on a 4th down and 9 from the other side 20-yard line and then a fumble have costed them a little bit here on the road.
Yeah, Keegan, it seems like every big game for the Raiders this season that they're playing a very hard matchup. They're always down by at least 2 or 3 scores to start the game, and that's not the way you want to play every single outing throughout the season. So they really need to find a way to get back in this game, as they've shown they're able to, in evidence with the game against Fairhaven.
This Raider side, I would definitely say, is more of a second-half team. And that seems to be the way with a lot of our Raider sports programs. A lot of them seem to make the step up when it gets to the second half or later on down the stretch in clutch situations. But I would say you're going to have to get some points on this drive. As you know, Old Rochester is getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, points are crucial here, as the touchdown is definitely needed. And if you give the Old Rochester Bulldogs a chance to go up 21-0, they're not going to look back.
Here comes the kick by Duvall. It's 2 men back for Somerset Berkley. Another line drive one. Bounces past the 20, and it's handled at the 17-yard line. Good return on the left side. Will go to the 40. Waiting for everybody to get up after that pile pusher. Sam Mello on the return back. Looks like a 24-yard return for him. Sam Mello has had a couple of returns this season. Coming in, he had 6 returns for 97 yards. It's good to see him getting in the action a little bit.
Yeah, he's always a formidable threat when getting the ball on special teams, and let's see what we can do on this drive as the Raiders should go to him with the ball.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Another pitch back. And a power up the middle, goes for about 3 yards. Looks like Liam Meehan again on the carry.
Meehan the ball carrier. Spinard in on the hit.
Brendan Spinard in on the tackle. Brendan Spinard, the younger brother of Robert Spinard, the former basketball player here at Old Rochester. Second down and 7 from the 43. It's another pitch back. And there was some movement up front to get to about the 47-yard line. We'll make it a 3rd down and 3, but just small chunks of yardage, Carter. If you take it, it might work every now and then.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. You never know when you're going to spring a big play by just trying to get small yardage, and the Raiders always love to do that. So let's see what they can do to finish out on this drive as they have 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go down and get a touchdown.
So the ball's officially marked at the 47-yard line. Will be a 3rd down and 3. 3:10 to go in the second quarter. This time it's Griffin on the motion. It's going to be a double handoff. And running past the 50, enough for a 1st down. It looks like it is Liam Meehan on it again. Good 4-yard run past midfield to the Bulldog 49-yard line. We've seen that play a couple of times this season, just a double handoff between the 2 outside backs. And the official is going to call a timeout here as Spinard looks like he's a little bit shaken up with a lower body injury and will get helped off to the side. He does have a brace on that right leg as well, barely putting any pressure on it. Never like to speculate at all what an injury might be, but it's one of your talented players out there, and it looks like coming in he was already having some injury difficulties.
Yeah, leg and knee injuries are definitely something you don't want in your athletic career. I mean, look at the NFL on the turf fields. The amount of torn ACLs you've seen throughout the past couple seasons, especially one notable is Odell Beckham Jr. in the Super Bowl against the Bengals. That was one that was really bad as he was having one of his best games, and in his first Super Bowl and he tears his ACL, definitely something you don't want to see.
Yeah, hot take. He might have been the MVP of that. He had the touchdown in the game. After Spinard gets to the side of 1st and 10 for Somerset Berkley at the Old Rochester 49-yard line. Raiders had their highest point total of the season last week at Greater New Bedford, scoring 32. Still with 0 right now. It's a quick handoff. This is Cabral running with it. And Cabral gets ahead to about the 44-yard line. A nice gain of 5. That's his first touch of the evening.
Yeah, one of the more longer yardage carries for Brody Cabral this season, coming in with only 3 carries for 7 yards. So definitely looking, if that's something the Raiders can go to get short yardage, they'll definitely go back to it.
He also had the one reception that only went for 2 yards, so about 2.5 yards per attempt. As Benjamin will look to pass, a good block by Medeiros, and Benjamin will go over the middle. That pass will be incomplete to Drew Dion. Might have hit the ground as it went through, so it brings up a 3rd down, but a nice scramble and good blocking from Jaden Medeiros, too, down the field.
Yeah, great job by Mason Benjamin going into open space, using Jaden Medeiros as a blocker in the backfield, and great job getting the ball to Drew Dion. Despite the incompletion, definitely a great job not to get sacked for huge yardage there.
Drew Dion with a couple receptions on the season, 3 catches for 41 yards. Also has 7 carries that have amounted to 25 yards. 3rd down and 6 from the 45-yard line. It's a pitch back. This is Meehan spinning his way past the 40, trying to drag the pile close to the marker. And let's see where they mark it. It looks like the referee spotted it at the 39, which is right at the first marker. And yes, it is. 1st down, Somerset Berkley. 6-yard gain on the play by Meehan.
Great job there to fight through a bunch of Bulldog tacklers for a Raiders first down, and that's what the Raiders needed as this quarter is coming to a close. Let's see if they can punch in a touchdown here to get this to a one-score game.
Once again, tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union. As Benjamin goes down the field, he's got A.J. Griffin. Griffin is taken down by Pepin at the 2-yard line. What a catch and run.
Wow, what a pass there by Mason Benjamin to Aiden Griffin on the wheel route. You don't see that by the Raiders offense very often, so it's definitely great to see. And looks like, as I said, the Raiders look like they're going to get a touchdown here, and that's huge going into the half.
36 yards by the little guys. Sets up a 1st and goal from the 3. Cabral and Meehan will stack up. And it's Liam Meehan on it. Liam Meehan trying to spin his way ahead towards the goal line, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Raiders. Liam Meehan, a 3-yard touchdown, and the Raiders are right back in this one.
Wow, just great sequence of events there. It looks like the Raiders were going to have a slow drive, and they bursted onto the scene with a huge pass, an easy punch-in touchdown by Liam Meehan, but rumbling through tackles once again, and that puts the Raiders back into contention for this game.
And they are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Gavin Kamara has been filling in for Doherty after the injury, 1 for 3 on his extra point attempts. The Raiders have converted a couple 2-point conversions. They went 1 of 5 last week at Greater New Bedford. Benjamin will look to throw to the left side, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to get it over to Drew Dion, so that keeps the score 14-6 with 1:18 to go in the second quarter. I like the design play just a little bit too far for Drew Dion to try to catch up to it.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. And now the Bulldogs have 1 minute and 18 seconds to mount a drive here and maybe get a score of their own before the half. As you said before, Keegan, they get the ball to start the second half, so they could really get rid of that Raider momentum.
I will try doing our sponsorship again after I was so rudely interrupted by the pass, but we'll take that pass attempt for the catch and building up the touchdown. Tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering personalized banking solutions and community-focused service with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea. The Somerset Federal Credit Union is focused on you. Big shout out to Amy DeRosa, getting me, Brian, and George set up with that back in August. So the Raiders will be on the kickoff. Old Rochester still with all 3 timeouts. You got to think they're going to go for the score and then try to get the ball back to start the second half.
Sure, Keegan, and I want to know, I just heard an update from the side of us that the DR Aponequid game, DR is up 21-6 in the first half, so definitely something to note there.
I'll be honest, I'm not surprised by that result at all. DR, along with Old Rochester, those are the teams to beat in the SEC this year. Aponequid lost a lot of players, but watch out, they got a good QB coming up, I believe, next year in Canessa. Strong guy. I believe he runs like a 4.4 40-yard dash. A short kick. Raiders might have a chance to recover it. And it's eventually gathered by Old Rochester. Looks like Bennett Xavier on the recovery. Wow, that was a favorable bounce, and Somerset Berkley could have pounced on that one if they saw it.
For sure, Keegan. I mean, what a phenomenal onside kick by Gavin Kamara. And it was right there for the taking. The Raiders just kind of went a little too far, got overeager going upfield, and the ball had an unfavorable bounce towards them as the Bulldogs take over. They got 1 minute and 17 seconds. Let's see what they can do.
And if Xavier didn't dive on that, he was going to be gone, but might as well have guaranteed possession of it rather than try to make a dangerous play. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 48-yard line. Baptiste on the motion. He'll take it on the right side. Gets by Gavin Gooch. Makes the cut past midfield. And Hickson Dion will be on the tackle towards the 46-yard line. Nice little motion play once again, and a quick handoff behind by Nelson.
And the Bulldogs are going to hurry up as they've been doing all through this first half, and let's see what they can do here, because this could be a big play if they decide to go to the pass.
It is a 2nd down and 3 from the Raider 45-yard line, 50 seconds to go. Nelson will go to the air, over the middle. That pass is caught. It goes down to the 15-yard line. A nice catch and run by Brody Hiles. They'll go for 30 yards down the field, and now the Bulldogs are moving quick. You knew this was going to happen. The Raiders got beat in the secondary again. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Quick handoff, and it's not going for much. Hostess of Raiders getting in there once again on the stop. And we're going to have the timeout called by Old Rochester with 30 seconds to go. Oh, that came out of nowhere.
A little bit of commentator's curse against the Raiders there. I said if the Bulldogs go to a passing formation that they can spring it big, and it looks like I was correct, Keegan, as the Bulldogs are in deep in Raider territory after that big pass play.
The last play goes for 4 yards, so it's going to be a second down and about 6 to go. Well, let's see if we can get a look on our end of replay of that last catch and run, and here we go. And right there over the middle, looks like Dion was supposed to have the coverage on it. There was a second player who just stumbled on it going back.
Football start the Raiders 13.
So second down and 6 coming up. Out of the timeout, the Bulldogs still with 2. It's going to be another passing play. Nelson will go to the left side. The pass is dropped again.
Incomplete.
Is intended for Baptiste.
Intended for Baptiste. Brings up third down.
Well, that's the second drop that the Bulldogs have had. That might have been big gains or maybe a score. Another score update on the other side of the SEC, Fairhaven and West Bridgewater. Those are going to be the two teams contending for that part, and that game might decide the SEC in the other division, tied at 27. High-scoring game there. Third down and 6. Nelson making another change at the line. Nelson will hand it off. This is Baptiste running forward. Ben Baptiste taken down. Another short gain. It's like Liam Meehan on the stop. It goes out to about the 8-yard line. To be short by about a yard or 2, and another timeout is called by Old Rochester. That's their second.
Yeah, great touchdown-saving tackle there by Liam Meehan. If that tackle wasn't made, that was an easy score for the Bulldogs, as that could have went up to 21-6.
Get some Raiders legends coming on up here. The state champion and Colton Pacheco. Always good to see some familiar faces here on the road doing a broadcast, coming on up to talk to us.
For sure, Keegan, and especially when Colton is living an hour away at school at Pomfret, so definitely great to see him, as he didn't have to come out of his way to come see a Raider football game for sure tonight, but he shows how much he cares about this school.
Him and Brendan McDonough, I believe, are roommates over at Pomfret. Fourth down and 1 to go. It's a handoff up the middle, and it's close to the line to gain. It looks like it got to the 5-yard line. There might have been a fumble in the play as well, and Somerset Berkley running away celebrating. It's going to be their possession.
Covered by the Raiders.
Let's see, we're going to get a look on the replay ourselves. We'll see who got the ball. All the way at the bottom of the pile, it looked like was Drew Dion. I don't know if he's going to get credit for the fumble recovery or not. Raiders won't do anything stupid. They'll take the knee, and we will go into the halftime break with Old Rochester on top, 14-6. Carter, what have you liked so far in the first 24 minutes that we might see play forward the rest of the way?
I mean, both teams have played great. Start early, a lot of action-packed, even though it's not the highest scoring games we've seen out of these two teams over the past couple years, but definitely just a great game to watch.
We're going to take a break on all of our platforms. Old Rochester will receive the second half kickoff. Carter, Bryan, and I will be back in about 15 minutes for coverage of the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Raider football on our TV platforms and on YouTube. All right, everyone, we're back at the David Hagan Stadium here in Mattapoisett, about ready to start the second half in tonight's South Coast Conference football matchup between the Somerset Berkley Raiders and the Old Rochester Bulldogs. It's Old Rochester on top 14-6 with 24 minutes to go in regulation. Keegan Hamblett alongside Carter Silvia on commentary with Brian Moniz running the camera. Carter, we kind of talked about it just before we took our halftime break. We mentioned the positives from both sides, but if you're Somerset Berkley, you're trailing, you're going to have to put your defensive core out there first. What do you want to see different from them as we start this third quarter?
They just need to tighten up that run game. Baptiste and Tucker Roy have been tearing them apart in that first half, so they just really need to find a way to stop them from just running all over them, because if they just allow that big yardage to keep piling up, this game will be over before we know it.
Once again, tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering great rates, trusted financial guidance, and personalized service with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea. The Somerset Federal Credit Union is focused on you. Gavin Kamara back out there for the Raiders to kick this one away. Somerset going left to right, Old Rochester going right to left. It's Old Rochester in their home red, Somerset Berkley in the road whites. Kamara's ready. Here comes the kick. No onside try that time as it's handled by Pepin at about the 30-yard line. Pepin making a cut, getting to the outside. Past the 40, makes a hurdle over Hicks and is eventually brought down by Wesley Albernaz at the 43-yard line. Nice looking hurdle there to start.
Yeah, I mean, that fires up your team for sure, especially when you're up by 8 points. It's definitely something you need, and if the Bulldogs can mount a drive, just a really time-wasting drive, they can really spread this game wide open and eventually turn this game into a big blowout that the Raiders especially don't want.
All right, Old Rochester takes over at their own 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Nelson is going to look to pass. Nelson getting pressured, makes the pass away. Catch and run. Henry Berry beating Sam Mello, and is tripped up towards the 20-yard line. Might be a game-saving tackle by Sam Mello, but not before an over 35-yard catch and run.
Sam Mello, as you said, Keegan, could be a game-saving tackle as the Bulldogs go back into the hurry-up. Let's see what they can do and try and punch in a touchdown.
Now 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Two out wide on the left again, one-on-one on that far side. It's a pitch back. Ben Baptiste finding space and brought down by Drew Dion. Baptiste able to get to about the 7-yard line. Be a 2nd down and about 2.
Tackle made by Dion.
This time Old Rochester is going to line up on the left hash mark.
2nd and 1 from the 7.
Nelson, another handoff. This is Baptiste running with it and getting tripped up by Lambert and Meehan. That should be enough for the 1st down. It's going to be a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Good for a Bulldog. 1st down. 1st and goal, Rochester. From the Raider 5-yard line.
Old Rochester really making it count, Carter, in the opening minute, 15 seconds. We'll talk about more about that after this 1st and goal play. Stack coming in once again from Roy and Baptiste. Nelson directly under center. It's going to go to Tucker Roy. And Tucker Roy will meet his fate at about the 1 or 2 yard line. But just talk about Old Rochester in the opening minutes of the third quarter.
I mean, just pretty typical to the end of that first quarter. At the end of the first half, I mean, it's just non-stop. It seems like the Raiders can't handle this no-huddle offense that the Bulldogs are running, and it's really just chugging to perfection.
The senior Max Pasternak in on the stop. It brings up a 2nd and goal. Troy and Berry going out on the right side. The stack again with Roy and Baptiste. Nelson with the handoff, but there is a flag on the play. Offside against Somerset Berkley will move that ball half the distance to the goal.
Offsides,
which really down the field amounts to really nothing, but it's still a yard closer that Old Rochester is going to end up.
Yeah, I mean, a yard's a yard at the end of the day, Keegan. Maybe that yard helps you get a touchdown, because 2 yards, you never know. You could get stopped easily 3 times, and then you go for it and not get the touchdown. So that 1 yard could be crucial.
2nd and goal from the 1 yard line. And that was a keeper by Nelson, and he's going to be short of the goal line. Might have lost a yard in there. So now it's 3rd down and goal.
Number 25, Gavin Gooch in on the initial contact. Brings up a 3rd and goal from the Raider 1.
Raiders trying to make it count. 3rd and goal from about the 1.5 yard line. This time it's only Roy lined up behind Nelson. 2 out on the right, 1-on-1 on the left. Here comes the motion directly behind. It's a handoff. Tucker Roy trying to reach forward. Touchdown, Old Rochester. He found space, and Old Rochester's back up by 2 possessions.
Yeah, easy touchdown there for the Old Rochester Bulldogs, and now with this extra point, they're going to try and make it 21-6 and put this game out of reach for the Raiders.
The standing room only student section making a lot of noise down there. Again, the pink out theme for them. It's Nolan Vieira on the extra point attempt, has made both so far tonight. Kick is back up through the uprights, and it is good. That runs the score to 21-6 with 8:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. Carter, not the way you want to start out for Somerset Berkley, especially on your defensive side, but that just gives Mason Benjamin and the offense another chance to respond.
Oh, Keegan, this game is way far from over, especially how we've seen how these teams always battle out year in and year out. So as this game progresses, I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders come back and find a way to tie this game up.
Somerset Berkley will be back in action next Friday night, back at home as they host the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons. Kickoff will be set for 6:30 at Hanson Memorial Stadium. You and JJ Silvia will be on the call on tape delay for our usual platforms. Old Rochester back at home next Friday night as they host the Greater New Bedford Bears.
Deep for the Raiders, Hicks and Mello. James Duvall kicking for the Bulldogs.
Everybody for Old Rochester set. Duvall on the kick. It'll be a short one off to the side, and it's going to go out of bounds, which will result in a flag. Typically, ball will be marked at the 35-yard line. There's also the option of, if Somerset Berkley wants to decide to move that ball up a little bit, past where it went out, and then a few yards after that. Well, let's see where they're going to officially mark the ball. So the Raiders will elect, it looks like, to have the ball at the 35-yard line, still waiting for the spot.
36-yard line. First and
Maybe
10,
up a yard
Somerset.
to the 36. Now a discussion with head coach Nick Freitas and assistant coach, I believe that's assistant coach Fallon over there for Somerset Berkley, just trying to figure it out. They're swapping the ball with the play ball, not the kicking ball. Now they're trying to find football. I don't know if this is Deflategate 2.0 over here. I mean, it is cold weather tonight, so they're just trying to find a different feel on the football. And now they got the ball all set. It's going to be marked at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 for Somerset Berkley. Another pitch back for the Raiders and getting out to the 39-yard line. It's Liam Meehan on another run for the Raiders. And Liam Meehan has been doing most of the workload on the running side for Somerset Berkley this season.
Good for 3, 2nd and 7. Football at the 39 of Somerset.
Still a 2-possession game. Anything can happen. 8:15 to go in the third. Benjamin's going to look to pass this one. Going to block from Meehan. Benjamin stepping up, and he's going to be sacked on the play. A nice, strong sack by Chase DeMello.
Number 53,
And for
Chase
Mason Benjamin, that's the 5th sack that he's taken this season.
Yeah, Mason Benjamin really just trying to create any sort of momentum on that play, trying to escape and scramble, and just no prevail, as that was a great sack by DeMello.
10. Football at the 38.
So it goes back to the original line, a 3rd down and 10 after the loss of 3. All the sacks that he's taken this year, I believe now that's 39 yards lost. As we have a timeout called by Somerset Berkley, 7:36 to go in the third. Well, Carter, 3rd down and 10 coming up. You can probably bet that Freitas will go for it if they're short of the line again. What do you want to see? Because you can always get 5 or 6 yards and then go for it on a much more manageable 4th down.
That too, Keegan, but also the Raiders just need to, as you see, they don't have enough time when they're doing a QB rollout to develop the routes downfield. What they need to do is a simple drop back 5 yards, sit in that pocket and deliver a pass, because that way it'll allow the receivers to get open in quick succession.
Well, yeah, you can just say thank you to Keegan, Carter, and Brian for covering the game. Maybe after this play.
3rd and 10.
Out of the timeout, a 3rd and 10 for Somerset Berkley. It's going to be Sam Mello on it. Sam Mello trying to get to that left side, spinning his way back to the 40-yard line. Now we'll bring up a 4th down and about 6 to go.
Brings up 4th down.
Well, that's exactly what we just talked about, Carter. They got the 4 yards and makes it a much more manageable 4th and 6.
Somerset Local on YouTube. Keegan Hamblett alongside.
Yeah, Keegan, as it looks like,
Commentary Brian Moniz.
as the Raiders don't convert on 3rd down, it looks like they can bring out the punt team, as it looks like Christian Hicks is up the punt.
And broadcast on YouTube channel. Thank you, Keegan Hamblett and Carter Silvia. Streaming on YouTube.
The Raiders line up in punt formation. You get a motion from Jared Tavares. High snap, it's over Christian Hicks. Has to pick it up, now just gonna hold on to it. It gets wrapped up by everybody. And the Bulldogs are gonna take over at the 20-yard line. Looks like Chase Cuppins, the senior, in there, the leader on the stop.
That is not what the Raiders needed there. They needed that punt to be pinned deep into Old Rochester territory, especially the momentum that they got right now. And as it stands, if the Old Rochester Bulldogs score here, I don't know how the Raiders can mount a comeback.
Well, now you got to get a stop here if you're the Raiders. Old Rochester lines up already in the red zone at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. It's going to be a passing play, incomplete, a little bit short. Spencer Troy, the intended target. And again, wide open on that left side was Spencer Troy. Again, we'll get another look on our live stream feeds. And it just slipped off of the hands, it looked like, of Connor Nelson. A quick handoff up the middle. It's more positive yardage. Looks like a gain of 4 on the play. I believe that was Brody Hiles on the run. So now a 3rd down and 6 coming up. What do you do here if you're Coach Gilbo?
Their passing game has worked great today, despite that pass earlier. Let's see what the Old Rochester Bulldogs can do here, because those quick passes they've been doing have been unstoppable.
This time Troy lines up on that right side. Nelson will look to pass this one. Nelson escapes the sack attempt by Hamblett. We got a flag out as the pass is incomplete. Let's check the flag.
Penalty marker in the play.
And Carter thinks it's a face mask, still waiting on the official signal. Might have seen one out there. And there it is, a face mask against Somerset Berkley. It's going to be an automatic first down. Well, did you see where it was in the mix, the face mask?
Yeah, it looks like on the quarterback, Connor Nelson, he was rolling out, and his face mask got tugged back as he was rolling out to the left. So the reason why that pass wasn't completed. And now as Connor Nelson goes back to the huddle, let's see what they do here as they get a first down deep in Raiders territory.
It might have been on Kyle Hamblett when he originally got it. Aiden Lambert got there late as well to apply the pressure. First and goal for the Bulldogs from their 8-yard line. As running ahead is number 8 and Tucker Roy. And a nice strong tackle as the run goes to the 3-yard line.
Football spot the 2, 2nd and goal.
Nelson taking a lot of time in the huddle. There we go, 2nd and goal from the 3. Troy again going out on that right side against Hamza Chaudhry. Nobody's defending Baptiste, but here comes the late cover by Christian Hicks. Baptiste on the motion. And it's a keeper. Connor Nelson finding space. He's in for an Old Rochester touchdown. And the Bulldogs just pouring it on here in Mattapoisett.
Yeah, the Raiders just not having a great night tonight here in this second half as Connor Nelson on the ground in the near the goal line has been unstoppable as those QB keepers have really been fooling those Raiders linebackers and secondary. And as this kick goes up, he's been very successful on his extra point attempts. And it's up and through, and that puts the Old Rochester Bulldogs up by 22 points, 28-6.
We just got another South Coast Conference score update. West Bridgewater has just taken the lead on Fairhaven. 8.5 minutes to go on that one, 41-35. And again, that doesn't affect anything here as it's in 2 different divisions. You got the gold division and the blue division. But still, always interesting to see what the results are like against, and it features teams that both of these teams have played against. Somerset Berkley and Old Rochester both played against Fairhaven earlier this year. Fairhaven beat both of them. Somerset Berkley actually played it closer. I believe both times Fairhaven scored 42 on both of them.
Yeah, definitely to show how good Fairhaven's offense is, and just to show that even though they're an SEC opponent, they're superior to almost every other team, apparently besides West Bridgewater, because it's a tight game there.
Yeah, West Bridgewater was definitely the favorite going in. They had a lot of players that were returning. Here's the boot away. Couple bounces. Fielded at about the 14. Good return here. Sam Mello running up ahead past the 35 and spinning his way to the 38-yard line. Nice 24-yard return to bring the Raider offense back out onto the field. And the return teams, Carter, have really been helping out Somerset Berkley in terms of opening field position.
But opening field position comes with how can you capitalize on it, and the Raiders have not done that here today. And let's see what they can do here, because if they can get a score, they can try and get back in this game as fast as possible. But with only just under 17 minutes remaining, there's not a lot of time left.
1st and 10 for the Raiders, same unit out there. It's Griffin on the right side. Benjamin the toss back. And it's Liam Meehan pushing ahead to about the 42-43 yard line. On top of everybody on the stop, it looks like James Duvall and Brody Hiles.
Good for 4, 2nd and 6 from the 43.
The second down play, another toss back with Meehan. Liam Meehan finding space. He's past midfield for a first down.
Meehan the ball carrier.
And you got some fans that wanted a flag out for that hit. I know you wanted that one, Carter, but either way, it's a first down.
Yeah, it's neither way. It's a first down. That's right, Keegan, but that was a dangerous hit as that hit was directly to Liam Meehan's head. Very dangerous play there, but great job by Liam Meehan to get right back up and get a Raiders first down.
Yeah, we just saw the replay. That was helmet to helmet. Old Rochester caught a break. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 46-yard line. This time it's A.J. Griffin on the run. Griffin breaking a few tackles and dives forward for a gain of 2 out to the 44-yard line.
Ball carried by Griffin.
.345 to go in the third. The Bulldogs up by 22 points. And something Old Rochester going to look forward to if they can hang on with this differential, the win margins. Those play a big factor in the power rankings. 14 is the cap off, so they want to win by at least 14. Somerset Berkley want to try to cut into that a little bit. Second down play, it's Liam Meehan on the run. Liam Meehan spinning his way to the 40-yard line. And a nice tackle down low by Cameron Pepin.
Tackle made by Brody Hiles and Cam Pepin. Brings up third down. Football at the
Fairhaven has just taken the lead back on West Bridgewater. A 33-yard touchdown by Evan Lamontagne and Grant Darmafall on the 2-point conversion. What a game that's turning out to be. Hope you stay here with us, though, for this SEC battle, as Benjamin will toss it back on a 3rd down and 4. That'll be enough for a Raiders first down, as pushing the pile looked like was Liam Meehan. And we'll see what the official gain on the play is. Looks like 9 yards on it to the 31-yard line. A nice strong run yet again. And Liam Meehan, I got to say, very impressive with the spin moves tonight out there.
Yeah, he always seems to have that spin move in his bag when running the ball, but tonight they're going to need a lot more from him because right now those small gains is not what they need. They need big chunk plays in order to cut down this sizable lead.
1st and 10 once again for Somerset Berkley. This is Sam Mello running with it this time. Sam Mello finding some space on the left. That's another Raiders first down, past the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain on the play.
Incredible vision there by Sam Mello. Looked like he was going up the middle, then bounces it quick to the outside, then cuts it back in for a Raiders first down.
Spot at the Bulldog 16, 1st and 10.
Great drive here by the Raiders into the red zone yet again. 3rd time today they've been in the red zone. They're 1 for 2 on their trips. Benjamin ready directly under Tavares. It goes back and a stumble as it was Liam Meehan trying to push his way ahead. He might have gotten a yard in there. Oh, bumped the ball to the 15-yard line. A 2nd down and 9 coming up. I don't know how much more he would have gotten even if he didn't slip on that play.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. And also not to mention that this Raider team isn't used to really playing on grass fields, as Somerset Berkley just got brand new turf at campus, so definitely something to note that we should have noted at the start of the game.
Chase Cuppins would have made the tackle, who just saw in the replay, and Kyle Hamblett also had a trip in there as well for Somerset Berkley. Still a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9 from the 15-yard line. The pitch back goes to Sam Mello. Mello is past the 15 and bulldozing his way to the 10-yard line. So now a 3rd down and 4. 45 seconds to go. The Raiders will get one more play off before the end of the quarter. They're hoping it can be some reservations for 6 into the end zone. Cabral Meehan on the stack. Liam Meehan with the ball. Liam Meehan pushing ahead past the 10. It looks like he's in the 5, down to the 4. And moves the 6 for a first down and goal for Somerset Berkley on a 6-yard run.
There we go, Liam Meehan pushing the pile as usual. And as this 3rd quarter comes to an end, hold up them 4s. But it looks like the Raiders may draw a play before the end of the quarter.
Liam Meehan pushing the pile ahead, still waiting for the signal. It's a touchdown for Somerset Berkley. 4 yards to get into the end zone. And just like that, it's back to a 2-possession game as the 3rd quarter comes to an end.
Run makes the score Bulldogs 28, Raiders 12.
So now decision time again. Do they go for the extra point? Do they try to go for two? They failed on the 2-point conversion last time. Freitas is talking to Benjamin, which tells me that they're going to go for two yet again. If they fail here and they're able to get 2 scores and a few stops, they got to convert both of those. This to make it a 28-14 ball game with 12 minutes on the clock. Meehan Mello as the running backs, Cabral as the fullback. Quick handoff. Liam Meehan was looking to throw, and now he goes to the side. It's going to be incomplete. So that takes us to the end of the third quarter, and Somerset Berkley will kick it away. The score 28-12 in favor of Old Rochester. And we got another score update in that game. West Bridgewater is back ahead. Ryan Nunes to Tyler Holmes, 47-43, 4:07 to go in regulation. What a game that's turning out to be to Carter.
Yeah, I mean, what a 90-point thriller between the two teams. That is absolutely unreal. You don't see that in high school football very often, so definitely, hopefully if they post that game on YouTube, I would love to watch it.
Both teams will switch directions. Somerset Berkley now going to attack right to left. Well, the first onside kick attempt by Gavin Camara looked good. Do you try doing an onside kick again, or do you think it's still too early to go for that?
No, based off the scoreline here, onside kick is not too far-fetched. I mean, especially how the first attempt go. That was executed to perfection. It was just they couldn't recover, the Raiders couldn't recover the ball. So let's see what they do here.
42 viewers at home on the live stream. Thank you to every single one of you tuning in tonight. Keegan Hamblett with Carter Silvia on commentary. Brian Moniz running the camera. Well, with the long shot for Somerset Berkley making the state tournament, this is most likely going to be the final time the two of us will be doing commentary for football season. But you've still got at least 3 more games to go at home at Hanson Memorial Stadium. And here comes the onside kick attempt, and it's fairly handled at the 42-yard line of Old Rochester. And it looks like Nolan Vieira, the extra point kicker, diving on top of that one. But first main season doing really all of the games for the football team. How are you liking it so far?
Keegan, it's always a blast to commentate football games and basketball games and lacrosse as well. I mean, I've always had a fun time doing it, and especially when we have games like this where high scoring and a lot of touchdowns and a lot of big plays, that's something you always want to see as a broadcaster and as a fan.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 42-yard line. Everybody bunched up for Somerset Berkley. That's a quick handoff as the run will go to the 50-yard line. That's a gain of 8 on the play to set up a 2nd down and 2 at midfield. Oh, the run game, Carter, for Old Rochester, it's been looking very strong tonight, and that could pave way for some really tough SEC matchups down the road.
For sure, Keegan. Also what that tough run game does is it kills the clock so much. I mean, just running those 3-4 yard gains, but picking up consistent first downs on every other play, that kills down the clock, especially when you're up by 16. You just want to get out of here with a win.
2nd down and 2 as Nelson lines up directly under center. Nelson with the handoff. This is Baptiste on the run. Baptiste breaks 1 tackle. A stiff arm will go out of bounds past the 45-yard line. Stiff arm was made once again on Christian Hicks. That's a 7-yard gain on the play out to the Raider 43-yard line. And Christian Hicks, although he's been stiff-armed a couple times down to the ground, he's been putting on a very solid effort tonight.
For sure, Keegan. I mean, Colton Baptiste, 2 devastating stiff arms, 2 Raider players, and when you let that guy go to the outside, he's impossible to stop.
Another first down for the Bulldogs. Clock stops on the first downs in the 4th quarter. Differentials under 30, so no running clock mode yet, as there's another pile pusher up the middle to the 37-yard line. Looks like Brett Irizarry in on the stop for the Raiders. Now, Brett Irizarry is a key component on the Raiders line, both offensive and defensive, as that's a 5-yard gain on the play. And although he's been quiet in terms of making tackles, you got to admire his blocking when they're on offense that we've seen from him this year.
Yeah, he's one of the key factors. Him and David Tavares, 2 of the biggest players on this Raiders offensive line, and they show it as their blocking and defensive skills are immaculate.
2nd and 5 from the 38. Nelson again under center. Coney is the center for Old Rochester. That's another quick handoff to the 35-yard line. So now a 3rd down and 2. Old Rochester now down the stretch in the 4th with the lead. Just going very run heavy.
Cabral and Hamblett here on the hit. Good for a couple. Raiders looking at a 3rd and 3.
They do back the ball up a yard to the 36. Kind of right in between the 35 and 36. So a 3rd down and 3 coming up. Big play here for the Raiders defense. Maybe for Old Rochester too, both sides. Or Old Rochester with 3 timeouts. Somerset Berkley's got 2. There is the running play close to the marker. It goes forward to the 34-yard line, which would leave the ball 1 yard short of the marker.
Ball carried by Roy.
So Somerset Berkley actually has 2 timeouts left. Old Rochester has 3. 4th down and 1. What do you do if you're Old Rochester?
I mean, they really can go anywhere. I mean, that running game up the middle with Tucker Roy, and as it looks like there'll be a timeout by the Bulldogs trying to draw up a play here to get this 4th down conversion.
Also a reminder for anybody watching on the live stream, make sure to join us at Hanson Memorial Stadium tomorrow morning. Our Somerset Berkley field hockey seniors will be honored, and they've got a great contest coming up against the 11-0-1 Sandwich Blue Knights. Yet 2 teams who are looking to win their respective state titles. And yours truly will be on the PA for that one. 4th down and 1 from the 34. Nelson, handoff up the middle. And that's forward for a 1st down out to the 25-yard line. Tucker Roy on the run.
Roy, good for an Old Rochester.
Just a simple run up the middle like they've been doing all night. Tucker Roy, another Bulldogs 1st down, and as this clock winds down, it looks like the Bulldogs have this one in the bag.
Still plenty of time to go, 8:50 to go in regulation. And technically, by measurements, it's a 2-possession game. The Raiders would need 2 touchdowns and to convert both of their 2-point conversions. 1st and 10 at the 26. Nelson with the pitch back. Baptiste getting off to the side, still staying in bounds. Past the 15, dragging the pile. Lambert comes in as well as Pasternak to make the tackle.
Another stiff arm by Ben Baptiste, and he's just been outstanding here tonight as he's just been impossible to stop, and this Raider team has no answer for it. And as this game is going to come to close, they really got to find out a way to stop these fast running backs bouncing to the outside because it can really hurt them in the long run.
Late flag thrown, unsportsmanlike against Somerset Berkley. And of course that moves the ball half the distance to the goal. That's going to be a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. And you saw late in there, Pasternak got a shove, I believe, on Baptiste. And just bumped the ball up 6 yards and make it a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. And that's been some struggles too, Carter, for the Somerset Berkley side. Just controlling the mental part of their game. Sometimes just a few extra shoves, and it hurts them a little bit.
Yeah, it always does. Penalties are never good, and it's an emotional game. Things happen. You're not always going to be perfect. You're going to do some things like some stupid things you definitely don't want to do as games are in a blowout situation. So let's just see what the Raiders can do. Let's see if they can keep a clean game for this final 8 minutes and 19 seconds.
Now the officials coming on over to talk with Coach Freitas. I mean, I saw the play develop down low with Pasternak making the shove. It really wasn't much, and the flag came in as you were in the middle of the discussion probably 20 to 30 seconds after that whole sequence happened. I can get why he's a little bit upset as the flag came out late, but nonetheless, the flag will stay 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. A stack again with Roy and Baptiste, 2 out wide on the left side. I formation. Nelson takes the snap. It's a handoff. Tucker Roy is going to be in for an Old Rochester touchdown. And now another flag comes out. Are you kidding me?
Penalty mark on the play.
And I'm sorry, I hate to break it. That is not a flag. That's just a guy trying to make a tackle right by the goal line as he was a few steps in. It was Hamza Chaudhry on the nudge. So Pepin gets in at the goal line, and it was about a yard or two after he got in that Chaudhry made the nudge that forced Roy to fall down.
Yeah, I mean, Roy had the touchdown. There's really no reason to do that type of hit, and that's just the type of stuff that Coach Freitas does not want to see out of his players.
The extra point attempt. Vieira 4 for 4. Here's the extra point attempt. Look at that one. Souvenir for the fans. And there's a catch made by a fan down there. Did we get a shot of that one on camera? It's good. Runs the score 35-12. The West Bridgewater Fairhaven game has gone final. And West Bridgewater came victorious 47-43. So 35-12 ball game, 8:14 to go in regulation, with the Raiders about to get the ball back. Carter, with this game pretty much almost out of reach, what do you want to see now from Somerset Berkley now facing this deficit?
It's a no give up mentality, Keegan. I mean, no matter the scoreline, just try and salvage any sort of pride in this game. Maybe get another touchdown, maybe get another 2 touchdowns, depending on if Old Rochester puts in their backups.
So the Bulldogs will line up for the kickoff, and the unsportsmanlike was tacked on for the kickoff, so it's going to be bounced up 15 yards, and the kickoff will be at the Raider 45-yard line. Duvall back out there to kick this one away. Remember, a touchback here in high school, if it goes into the end zone, would be marked at the 20-yard line. And there's the boot, out to the 7. Good return coming here for Sam Mello yet again. Sam Mello fighting his way to the 27-yard line. Leader on the tackle, Levi Mello.
Change the ball in on the initial contact.
Just a reminder, anybody keeping it or watching on the live stream, make sure to keep it here after the game. We're going to have some final post-game chats and some thoughts, as this is most likely our final live stream of the regular season. And hey, we always say we never know what the future expects. Who knows what's going to happen next football season? I know you guys will still have all the home games. The 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line for Somerset Berkley. It's a toss back. Liam Meehan running forward. Liam Meehan gets out to the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 8 yards on the play. We'll make it a 2nd down and 2. Liam Meehan, who's been averaging well over 100 yards a game this year, has got to be pretty close to that tonight.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. And I would like to see the Raiders mix up the playbook a little. Let's go to a more passing offense here on this drive to see if you can use it in future games.
That's another run out to the 40. That's another Raiders 1st down, as it actually goes to the 41-yard line.
Ball carried by Meehan, good for Somerset.
And you know what? I agree with your stance of going to the passing plays. With the incompletion earlier today, Mason Benjamin's completion percentage on the year is 50%. He's thrown 5 picks on 32 attempts. Might as well get more experience for the kid, but first a toss back to Meehan again, out to the 44-yard line, a gain of 3. But I don't like that. Or I do like that mentality, I should say, to maybe give Benjamin some more pass attempts in the air.
Yeah, because he is a quarterback. They're meant to throw the football, and he knows how to hand off the ball. He's tossed it almost every single play on every down. Give him a chance to throw the ball and see what he can do.
Another pitch back for Meehan, out to the 48-yard line. And we got a Bulldog who's down right at the Raider 40-yard line. So when we come back from this injury timeout, it's going to be a 3rd down and 3. Old Rochester, they've had quarterbacks in the past that could throw the ball. Connor Nelson today has been doing extremely well. Gavin Martin, last year's QB, who's actually in the building tonight watching the game. He was terrific passing the ball last year as well. Brendan McDonald, when you needed him to make a throw, he was on the money with it. Balico and Meehan were terrific in years past for the Raiders. as Liam Mann on the third down play will have enough for a first down. Past the 45, still on his feet. Hamblett trying to push the pile forward out to the 41-yard line. That's an 11-yard gain on the play by the senior Liam Mann, who will be one of many honored at the next home game next week.
Yeah, just want to point out there, Keegan, great play there by your brother. Coming in as Meehan was getting tackled, he came in and pushed the pile and helped Meehan gain a couple more yards after contact.
6:15 to go in regulation. Old Rochester well on their way to a victory. Liam Meehan is looking to pass this ball, heaving it down the field for Drew Dion. And did it get intercepted? And it did. Oh, it went to the air as you wanted it. It wasn't the intended guy, though. Liam Meehan, the pass attempt will be intercepted, and Old Rochester takes over at about the 15-20-yard line.
You got to like the play design, Keegan, though. Going to your top running back to throw the football off a little flea flicker, definitely something you don't see very often, and you got to like how the Raiders have spiced up their playbook here.
Ball's going to be marked at about the 17-yard line. Toss back out to the side. Baptiste on the run. And Semello will force him out right at about the 25-yard line. Freitas still keeping a lot of his starters in right now as we head down the stretch, which either way you look at it can be a positive, can be a negative. But as of now, it looks like it's being a positive as there's been really no severe injuries yet.
Yeah, but Keegan, yet is the word that haunts the Raiders team. Injuries have been plagued them all season, so you definitely don't want your starters to get hurt for future contests.
Second down and a short 3. Another handoff play. That's Pepin running with it. And Max Pasternak will be there on the stop at the 28-yard line. That's good enough for another Bulldogs first down. Cameron Pepin down the stretch has been doing very well. Max Pasternak on the tackle as Poisson is actually injured tonight, not playing for the Raiders.
Yeah, Jason Poisson was a game-time decision whether he would play tonight. As he was cleared on Thursday, he would have been a big help for this Raider defense and offense here tonight, as they could have used him in his explosiveness.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Correction, Pasternak in the last tackle.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line. 5:10 to go, and we got a flag. False start against Old Rochester. We'll bump the ball up back to the 23-yard line. But with a lot of new players in these flags, the coaches keep an eye on that for who's getting the flags. And even down the stretch of a game, even though it's a 23-point game, you got to maintain that balance and not have stupid flags.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. A clean game is always the best thing for either team, whether you're up or down. So Coach Freitas, for his squad, definitely wants his team to stay clean, along with the Bulldogs.
So now first down and 15 from the 23. Still not in running clock mode as the deficit is under 30 points. That's Nelson on the keeper. Connor Nelson taken down by Jaden Medeiros past the 30-yard line.
Crosses the 30.
Connor Nelson's had a few quarterback keepers tonight. And honestly, he's got a lot of speed out there. I'm surprised they haven't given him the ball more to take it up the field himself.
Yeah, and Keegan, and touchdowns for him on this game as well. So he's definitely been an impressive player to watch, as it's been a very interesting game for the Bulldogs here, as they've played outstanding.
It's been an 8-9 yard gain on the play, so a second down and 6, 7, whatever way that you want to draw it up. From the 32-yard line, Nelson directly under center yet again. Handoff will go on the left side past the 35-yard line, and the tackle is made at about the 37. Will be a third down and short coming up. Well, we always look forward to the next game, Carter. Somerset Berkley, a big home contest against Dighton Rehoboth coming up. What do you think they've got to improve on from this game that they got to take forward and really improve on in order to have a chance at home?
Well, it has to come down to the tackling, Keegan. I mean, early on in the game, in that first quarter, their tackling was phenomenal. But then as down the stretch, the amount of broken tackles these old Rochester running backs have been able to produce is somewhat extraordinary. So that's something they definitely need to improve on.
They're down in 2. That's a pitch off to the side. This is Pepin running with it. He has enough for the first down. Nice strong tackle in the mix by Christian Hicks. He's been waiting for it all night. He's finally got a strong tackle after the play goes to the 44-yard line.
Actually, I want to correct you on that, Keegan. That was Gavin Gooch there on the tackle coming across. He took a big hit to his head, so definitely something to point out there as they're taking him out for senior James Darlington.
Football Sparta Bulldog 44, first and 10.
Yeah, Gooch and Hicks look like was there on the combined tackle. That's what it's going to be officially marked down. First down play is a run up the middle, maybe a gain of 1 yard on the play to the 45-yard line. Old Rochester really just running the ball out. Fans starting to get antsy now. Some late shoves in the mix. This is going to be Old Rochester's 7th victory in a row against Somerset Berkley. And then the Tides for the head-to-head. We'll look towards next year in 2026 as the game will be at Hanson Memorial Stadium. And last year's game was in front of a packed house. It was a pink-out game last season, back and forth. It's only going to be about 2 or 3 more plays before this game wraps up as we hit 100 seconds. Pepin again on the run. Looks like Brett Arizari came in up top. Drew Dion might have gotten him on the first contact. Arizari, the main guy in there, gain of 2 on the play.
Ball Sparta 47, brings up a 3rd and 7.
What I've noticed tonight compared to some of the other games, there's been a lot of different Raiders, Carter, that are getting in the mix of these tackles. Now, at the beginning of the season, it seemed it was always Drew Dion, Aiden Lambert, Kyle Hamblett. But now you have guys like Gavin Gooch, Brett Irizarry, Hamza Chaudhry making tackles up front.
Yeah, it's always good to see that the stats and the tackles are spread around throughout the whole team. It's not just a one-dimensional defense where you have the same couple guys making every single tackle, so it's definitely great to see.
Old Rochester's about to use a timeout here as the clock winds down to 40 seconds. And there's the call by Coach Gilbo.
Timeout Bulldogs.
And one final play that should end a most likely bet that it's going to be on the run. And it looks like Nelson's just going to nail it down. And that'll do it. The Old Rochester Bulldogs are victorious 35-12. They get their first win of the season and a big one in SEC play. And the Raiders will drop to 1-5 on the year. Carter, Somerset Berkley looked sharp early on, but Old Rochester was just able to pull away with it in the third quarter. Just final thoughts overall on the game.
Yeah, Keegan, Old Rochester was just a better team through and through, defense and offense, and it was just a great display of performance by them.
So Somerset Berkley 1-5 on the year. Old Rochester, as we mentioned, 1-4. Home contest coming up next week against Greater New Bedford. Knock on wood, should be a win for them. But you can never underestimate the underdog in any matchup. What does Old Rochester have to do against Greater New Bedford next week that they did pretty well tonight?
Pretty much the same game plan. Run, pass, just convert when you have the opportunity, and that's what they did here tonight.
All right, so I told you guys I wanted to take a few minutes right before we wrap this up real quick. with the unlikely chance that the Raiders are going to make the state tournament, this is going to be our final YouTube live stream for Somerset Berkley football on the air. And again, who knows what's going to happen next year, whether who's doing these games. So I want to give a shout out to our amazing crew that have been up here. Silvia has been joining in most of the way this season for a lot of these road contests. Brian Moniz has been there the whole way as well. Got to give a big shout out too to Amy DeRosa for helping get our sponsorships together. Morgan right in front running the huddle cam, also been at all of the road games as well. There's a shot of him right on camera. Got to appreciate all of the work that Morgan has done. But hey, you'll still be seeing Silvia and Brian Moniz around. That's right, the home contest still at least 3 more for the Raiders, and there's still the 2 guaranteed extra games, even if they don't make the postseason, as Brian's panned the camera over here now. But 19 games. The first game that I did was on November 28th of 2019, Somerset Berkley against Case for Thanksgiving football. And again, we have no idea what's going to happen next year, but a fun ride doing a lot of these live streams as we're going to sign off. But Carter, 3 more games at least for you on the mic. What are you going to be looking forward to most, spending time with your cousin on the call?
It's always a great time spending time with him on the call, but I just want to see the Raiders come out with 3 more wins. That would be great to see.
All right, once again, 35-12 the final. Old Rochester with the win over Somerset Berkley. Again, big shout out to Brian Moniz running our camera and Silvia helping out on commentary. Keegan Hamblett signing off from the David S. Hagan Memorial Stadium here in Mattapoisett. Wishing you the best. Be good, everybody. We will see you tomorrow for Somerset Berkley Field Hockey Senior Day. Have a good night.